Sige, sige.
Sige, include natin yun,
Okay.
bloopers yun.
Okay, ulit. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Ian Carl Alcanapi. I am here with my fellow classmates, and I will be facilitating today's kapihan. And a few things about me: I'm a business analytics student, and yeah. So first up, our one of my friends here today is Marks. Marks, please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Margo Ocampo. Most people call me Marks. I'm also a business analytics student. Some little things about me: I love tech and I tinker a lot.
Okay, thank you, Marks. Now, next up, we have Jethro. Jethro, could you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Jetro. You can call me Jet. I love basketball and my favorite basketball player is Jared McCain.
Okay, thank you, Jethro. Next, Charles. Charles, could you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Charles Glambirius. You can call me Charles. One of the things that I like the most or that interests me the most is I love playing basketball as well, and my favorite artist is Drake.
Okay, thank you, Charles. Now, next up is Pao.
Hello everyone, my name is Joel Paulo Bilagamayo. You can just call me Paulo, that's what I usually prefer. I I'm taking BIA Business Intelligence Analytics. As for this year, it changed to Business Analytics. I'm with these guys. And for my hobbies, I usually do almost about everything that I can enjoy. I just want to enjoy life as it is.
Okay, thank you. Now, for last up is Aldrich.
Hello, my name is Aldrich Timothy Felix, but you can also call me Aldrich. I too am a business analytics student. I'm someone who loves the game and be nerdy about it, but also go to the gym for my spare time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for introducing yourselves. Now, for today's topic for this kapihan, we will be talking about life as a Mapuan. Are you excited?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Now, before we start, I should definitely read this first. This is a safe space. Whatever you will share will just be between and among us group. This is recorded, but it is only for review of our UTS teacher who is a trained professional. Remember that your feelings are valid and that you are not alone. Okay, now for today's session, who would like to start?
Uh, I think I'd love to go first.
Okay, thank you, Marks. Take it away. Oh, okay.
Uh,
First off, I'll ask the question first. Sorry,
sure,
sorry.
sure.
Okay, so why are you in this group? What do you want to share?
I'm in this group to talk about conflicts that I've experienced in my life as a Mapuan, and I wanted to share my specific experience uh being a Mapuan student and adjusting to the environment.
Okay, that's really nice to hear. Now, what particular conflict have you experienced with your life as a Mapuan?
Well, I'd say the biggest conflict I've faced wasn't academic or the workload. I adjusted to the academic side of Mapua fairly easily. The challenges were there, were exactly what I expected. I believe the real struggle was the environment shift. So for context, I attended a private Catholic school that was all boys until the 7th grade. So I spent majority of my formative years in a very specific and consistent bubble where I knew everyone, almost everyone in my batch. Moving to college was a total culture shock, going from that small familiar group of guys to a co-ed environment where the gender distribution is much more even, and I didn't know a single soul, and it felt intimidating. It feels much harder to make friends here, especially with everyone who's either hyper focused on their own degrees and workloads or already has their own established circles. Losing that daily consistency of being with the same people was a huge adjustment for me.
Wow, okay. Thanks for sharing that about your experience being at an all boys school. Now, What emotions were present when you had your conflict?
Well, initially there was a lot of concern. I was genuinely worried that I'd have to navigate my entire college life alone, or at least majority of it alone. However, over time, it evolved into a sense of contentment. I learned how to be okay with my own company, which led me to appreciate the smaller things in life and start treating myself with more kindness.
Oh, okay. So how did you handle your emotions?
Well, I handled it by going on what I called solo missions. I basically turned to consumer therapy and explored almost every corner of Makati. I'd eat out every day I was on campus, wandering to Pobla, Legazpi, Salcedo, even sa borders ng Taguig sa may Pamagallanes and Manila sa may Bel Air. I even started reviewing the places I ate at on Google Maps, and one of my posts actually hit over 100K views. But as the new year turned over, that's when I stopped going on my solo missions. I found myself sitting in dinner spots, especially ones meant for two, ones meant with a date, cafes with couple promos, constantly asking myself, why am I here alone? Uh, I had to confront whether I was looking for an organic encounter or if I was just desperately trying to fit into a world that I didn't feel part of yet. Being honest with myself about that loneliness was the first step in moving past it, I think.
Oh, okay. So thank you for sharing your experience with everything from exploring different parts of Makati. Yeah. So what would be your advice to the people who are with us today?
Well, it's pretty simple and it's gonna sound crazy, but kapalan lang yung mukha natin. Don't wait for people to come to you. Join that org, volunteer for that event, and don't be afraid to be the one standing out at the front. Humans are social animals, and at the end of the day, our connections are what make us human. Don't spend your first year just being a reviewer of the world around you. Get out there and actually be a part of it.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you for your great advice. Yeah, really opening up, trying new things. Those are some things that could be scary at first, but I mean, it brings us new opportunities. Okay, now for our next person, may I call on Jethro? Oh, Aldrich, do you want to go first? Do you want
Yeah,
to go first?
yeah,
Okay,
I'd like to
okay,
go next.
sure, sure, Aldrich. So, why are you in this group? Well, what do you want to share?
So I just wanted to just share my own experiences as well as a Mapuan. There is nothing particularly specific that I want to share, but rather I just want to talk my general experience as one, especially for my first year in college. My overall experience as a Mapuan in college has felt rather laid back and chill, especially from a social aspect. I'm grateful that all my classmates have shown good vibes and simply want to develop a simple camaraderie with one another. And I've noticed that they all want to help each other get the best grade possible, and of course, so that we can graduate together. I enjoyed that. I still enjoyed uh, the social interactions beyond my own classmates because I noticed that you can find other people in Mapua to have a simple conversation with, whether it's in the canteen or in the library, whether it's small talk or talking about simple interests or just really about their day. But the most notable thing that I noticed with college students is that they're mostly relatively chill and they just want to have good vibes with the people they're with, mainly to mitigate stress that they may feel from their ACADS. Though when it comes to academics, I don't think that the workload I deal with isn't too much, and I find it relatively manageable with my own schedule, so that I could still balance my other activities such as gaming or going to the gym.
Okay, thank you, Aldrich, for your answer. So here's your next question. Um, what particular conflict have you experienced during your life as a Mapuan right now?
When it comes to particular conflicts, I think the ones I tackled with are relatively minor, such as for ACADS, the only thing that I have an issue on is class announcements going rather late, which I notice can sometimes cause misunderstandings with students. Though when it comes to uh, a conflict related to the social aspect, I believe that the one I've noticed is gossiping. I don't really hear it in my own class with my own classmates, and I'm glad because I notice they really just want to enjoy feeling more relaxed and maintaining those good vibes. When it comes to outside my class, I noticed it a bit more, and it's not something that I particularly like to be a part of or listen to, as I just prefer to mind my own business.
Yeah, that really is an issue. Gossip could really hurt friendships. Now, what emotions did you feel when you had this conflict?
The emotions I feel when I had that conflict, only mostly just for the gossip part, because when it came to the issue with announcements in class, I feel like simple communication with the teacher would solve it. But when it came to gossiping, I felt rather uneasy, as it's just something in general that makes me uncomfortable, and I don't want to be associated with, especially if it leads to some kind of potential drama or viewing certain people in a bad light, and or even causing more misunderstanding, especially if those people who end up in the kind of gossip ends up being one of the people I befriended. I don't want them bringing that to me, if even if they are comfortable or trusting me, or I don't want to be a part of some drama that I don't even know about.
Yeah, things could really get messy when it comes to gossip. Now, how did you, I mean, what would you, advice would you give to the people today regarding this issue?
Regarding that issue, I think, of course, it's important to mind your own business, and I think setting boundaries is also good, but healthy boundaries where it's not like you're cutting off people. You're still being open to reach out to them or open to any kind of conversation, just so that you let them know that you're respecting their boundaries as much as yours, and just to keep setting the tone that you want to have a good time. But other than that, I would also like to advice to the people in my group is that it's also good to continue to focus on yourself to improve as a person, but also it's good to reach out to one another, even if it's for a small talk. And some, just like Mark said, we humans are kind of like social animals. So doing those little acts of reaching out can really help, not just with the good vibes, but helping us feel more than just classmates, but also more like a family.
Wow, that really is some great advice there, Aldrich. Uh, Having healthy boundaries, uh, trying to mind your own business, avoiding gossip. Those are some things that we could really learn from. Now, next up, Jethro, would you like to go now?
I think Paulo will go first.
Yeah, can I go first if
As
that's all
okay,
right?
okay, yeah. So, Paulo, uh, why are you in this group? What do you want to share?
I'm in this group because is it fine to go or to use Tagalog? Is it fine to use Tagalog?
Sinabi ba? Sinabi ba? Yeah, I think
Alright,
yeah, I
okay
think
lang. Okay. Um, what I want to share and why I'm in this group is because there's a lot of issues, there's a lot of problems that you're going to struggle being in Mapua, and with the topic as life as a Mapuan, I've already struggled with multiple challenges, and it took a lot in me to like get through them. And with that in mind, I want to at least like push out some of these issues and hopefully um give advice to anyone and everyone that needs it.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Oh yeah, oo nga pala. You shifted to business analytics. That's right. So, do you have any particular conflict in mind that you've experienced during your life as a Mapuan?
A lot actually, and one of them is in fact gossiping. Um, Gossiping. There's a lot of issues overall, a lot of toxicity within the community. It doesn't matter if it's in Makati, Intra, the new campus which is Ayala Manila Bay or or like the other one. There's going to be toxicity everywhere, especially if it's a lot of people in one community. And then other than that, I also struggle with being alone. I Being alone, having no one to rely on, especially with sensitive topics. So I had to go through those things to, and it really took a lot of out of me. And I even considered and did, matter of fact, shifting to business analytics when one of the possible option was also transferring out.
Oh, okay. So thank you. So thank you for sharing about your experience as a Mapuan, the toxicity, considering shifting, and you did shift. Welcome to business analytics with us too. So what emotions were present during this time when you were experiencing these things?
Um, most of the time, I felt really alone. It was really struggling. Parang nakakasakal. Like actually, especially when it comes to groupings or asking help, especially if like you miss one class, right? If you have no one to approach, you don't know what you miss. You don't know kung ano yung parang kailangan mong habulin for the next class. So with my emotions that were present at those particular times, um, it was really sad. It was really like alone. That's about it.
Oh, okay. So, I relate dun sa yung wala kang mahinga ng info kapag nag-miss ka ng class, especially nung lumipat ng sections, like yung iba rin sa atin dito. So, yeah. Now, how did you handle your emotions?
Um, I handle my emotions like this year. I forced talaga na parang to like socialize more with people around me, including with some of you guys here. And then, basta yun talaga yung kailangan mo when it comes to like handling those types of situations. Alam mo talaga ang kapal yung mukha mo. Or, or else, you're not gonna have connections. You're gonna struggle a lot. You're gonna face challenging times a lot on your own. And it's just really draining. It's gonna burn you out really fast. So how I handled them, in matter of fact, I did socialize. I put myself out of my comfort zone, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. So, what advice would you give to us today?
Um, just be yourself. Because honestly, everyone has their own pacing. Everyone has their own like yung mga kaya nilang gawin on their own mentally, physically. Don't push yourself too much, but make sure na parang wag mo sayangan yung mga opportunity na parang nape-present na sa harap-harapan mo. If you don't take them, that's just your loss. You have to take these opportunities if you gusto mong umangat talaga.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this, Paolo. Life of Samapuan could be crazy talaga sometimes, as what I've heard and what I currently see. Okay, so who would like to go next? Petro or Charles? You got Charles? You want to? Okay, Charles. So, hi, Charles. So, why are you in this group? What do you want to share?
Um, Honestly, I have no idea why I'm in this group. In all honesty, uh, I feel like I could have been in any other group. I could have been in other groups with with it, but I was surprisingly put in a group with all males, and I personally believe that we were put in this group in a way that we would all share common issues, conflicts, emotions to how we live our life as a Mapuan currently.
Okay. Oh, fair point. We didn't choose this group. Random to. Pero yeah, hi guys. Magkakasama tayo ngayon. So, what particular conflict or conflicts have you experienced currently during your stay in Mapua?
Um, I've been getting a lot of this ever since I started shifting my program. But one of the challenges I experienced as a student at Mapua was dealing with a technical issue from the registrar during enrollment, which eventually caused me to become irregular and fall behind my original blockmates. So just a backstory: when I first enrolled, I chose Bachelor of Science in Ed. At the time, I thought it was the right path, but as the school year started, or as the school year approached, I began questioning whether I could truly see myself happy or fulfilled in that program. And I didn't want to ignore that feeling, obviously. So um I gathered all my courage to approach the registrar and request a program change before classes even began. And thankfully, they allowed me to shift to business analytics with AI, which felt more aligned with my interests and goals. And I felt relieved and hopeful afterward. However, when classes officially started and I received my schedule, that sense of relief quickly turned into confusion. I noticed that I had been placed in classes with business administration students instead of from my new program. Um, Seeing that schedule or seeing that just made my heart sink because I realized I might already be falling behind due to an administrative mistake. Uh, it was a difficult moment, not because of the workload, but because it felt like despite being my part responsibly and early, I was still facing consequences I didn't cause. Moreover, I felt as though the efforts I made in the first term was not completely worth it because not all my subjects were credited as I transferred programs.
Wow, okay. So thanks for sharing that. Oh, you've already experienced the Mapuan system, so to speak. And yeah, I mean, at first, I didn't know which program you were part in eh. Kasi you were in our GC, but I rarely see you though. We rarely see you then. So okay, so during this time, what emotions were present during this conflict?
Um, I'd say that during this time, the conflict brought out a mix of frustration, anxiety, discouragement, and lots of stress. And, I even felt a sense of embarrassment when my blockmates started asking me why I hadn't been with them during the first term. Um, Having to explain the whole situation to them was honestly saddening. It made me feel self-conscious and a little out of place, like I was carrying like a setback that others didn't have to face. Uh, for some time it felt uncomfortable, but at the same time it reminded me that everyone has their own challenges, obviously, and that this was just a part of my journey to work through it. I didn't expect to face that conflict at the start of my college journey. I was really excited to start at Mapua, ready to dive into my classes and make the most out of my first year. So, it was frustrating when a technical issue with enrollment threw everything off. And, it felt fair that something beyond my control could have such a big impact on my plans. At the same time, I felt anxious. I kept thinking about how this mistake would like set me back compared to my blockmates, and whether I would be able to catch up. There's that uncertainty that made me uneasy and a little what's that word? Restless, because instead of focusing on learning and adjusting to college life, I was worrying about my schedule and how to fix that situation. And to top it all off, I felt discouraged and stressed, even if being delayed by a term might seem small to others. For me, it felt huge. Like it really took a toll on me. I had carefully planned my studies and worked hard to be on track, and now I had to deal with the consequences of an error I didn't make. So yeah.
Oh, thanks for sharing that. It really was a shame that Mapua fumbled your enrollment, placed you in different classes. So I guess, well, during this time, with all these emotions, how did you handle them?
Um, if I'm being completely honest, at first it was hard to know how to handle everything. Um, I didn't realize I didn't have much of a choice but to move forward. So, I just threw myself into tasks. Uh, Even the subjects I wasn't supposed to take yet. I studied, took tests, wrote research papers, and tried to keep up as best as I could. Um, Over time, I started to accept that it was too late to change the situation, and instead, I began focusing on what I could control. Um, I reminded myself to stay optimistic, thinking about the opportunities ahead, and trusting that things would eventually work out if I stayed consistent and dedicated. So, there was a time when I did feel very overwhelming, or when the stress felt extremely overwhelming. I turned to release it through physical activities such as basketball. It's always been like a therapeutic activity for me. Just it clears my head. It gives me space to think. Just the thought of like running up and down the court, focusing on the game instead of my worries. It helped me in so many ways that it recharged me mentally and physically. I mentally and emotionally. Sorry. And most of all, I think I leaned to a close friend of mine who was going through a similar situation. Talking to him made me feel less alone and gave me perspective. He shared how he managed to get back on track, even though it took time. It reminded me that being behind doesn't define my abilities or my potential. So it was comforting to realize that even if my blockmates were ahead, what truly mattered was my effort and determination to keep up and move forward at my own pace. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So thanks for sharing the how you handled those emotions, how you adapted to the situation. And I guess, sige lang, if you have any questions, if you need to catch up, chat ka lang sa amin, bro. Chat ka lang. Well, for I guess the final question, what would be your advice to the people here?
Um, I guess my advice to the people here is don't be too hard on yourself when things don't go exactly as planned. You know, I think we all have to remind ourselves that life and especially school will throw unexpected challenges at us, and sometimes setbacks are beyond our control. What matters the most is how we respond to them, how we tend to move forward, how we take responsibility for what we can control, and to stay persistent. You know, focus on making progress even if it's slower than you hope. And also don't underestimate the value of support. Obviously, talk to your friends, mentors, or anyone you trust when you're struggling. Sharing your experiences not only, you know, helps lighten up the emotional load, but gives you perspective and guidance from people who have faced similar challenges at the end of the day. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Those are some good points, like reaching out to people, sharing experiences, uh, like being adaptable. Thank you for sharing. Now, I guess that leaves us with Jethro. Jethro. So
Hello.
I Why are you in this group and what do you want to share?
I am in this group because, well, since I'm the last, well, second to the last person to share, I just love hearing your advices and your background of whatever's happening to your school life. And I'm here because I want to share my experiences as well and the help that I can offer to all of you.
Okay, thank you. Now, during your stay as a Mapuan right now, were there any particular conflict or conflicts that you've experienced?
Yes, I do have, um, from what Margot said earlier, comparing my answer to his is a little bit the opposite. Well, I was a missionary for 2 years, and before that, I stopped school for 6 months. And coming home after serving my mission, I also stopped school for 6 months. So a total of 3 years without studies. And with that, I gained a lot of skills in that field, preaching the gospel. But at the same time, not studying for 2 years caused me to, I guess, get dumber because I didn't get the chance to study the subjects I will want to profess in. So my number one conflict right now is academics. I'm pretty good with people. Talking to people is fairly easy to me, even though they're a lot different to me, and I love doing it. But studying is just hard to me, and I get embarrassed right when a professor or teacher asks you the question and you don't know. That's just something I'm afraid of to encounter in the future.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I can only imagine how hard it must be, like uh, trying to remember what you've learned during the past years. Now, during this particular conflict, what emotions were present during this time?
Yeah, like I said, it's embarrassment and stress because I'm the kind of person who wants to keep up, who wants to be kind of like on top, who was doing great. When you hear my name, I want to be recognized as one of the greatest. But with studies, it's just not it. I really suck at it, especially math, which we have. It's my kryptonite that I think I'm not gonna get honors or even pass. So yeah,
Wow, okay. So, uh, this must be difficult. So, how did you handle your emotions?
with those, with embarrassment and stress, I just kind of like ask questions to my classmates, to you guys on how you study your um study routines and try to copy it. Just learning from you guys helped me a lot, and it works a lot because I don't have that experience of strict studying routines, and so I kind of just like ask questions to people and embrace like, yes, I don't know it, so please help me, um, show me how do you do it, and I will follow it. Kind of like what I'm doing.
Oh, okay, okay. So, ano pala sa math class, tabi tayo.
Yeah,
Kasi
yeah, yeah.
tayong dalawa lang yung magkasama dun sa class. Well, okay. So, I guess the final question for you is, what would you, what would your advice be for the people today?
For those people who are struggling academically, it's just first is ask questions to the right people who have the right habits. Just listen to them and follow what they're doing, and you can see they have their own testimonies. They're doing well in that subject, and he's the right person to talk with. And second is just practice. One of my friend Kai, he keeps saying just practice and practice, and stuck in my mind just to follow what he said, and I did it. And I did practice. I did well in pre-cal, but I didn't do it. I didn't do good enough. But I really like what he said. Just practice is a very basic word, but it's often overlooked. So just practice with the academics and you'll be good.
Wow, okay. So thanks for sharing those advice. Just keep on trying things, keep on persevering, repeat until you get it. And yeah, pero I'm just saying hindi rin naman ako magaling sa math. So, kinakaya ko lang din. Okay. So, I guess that leaves you guys, ni sino man mag-i-interview sa akin with asking the same questions as you. So, well, who would want to interview me?
I think I'll do it.
Marks? Okay, sige
Yes.
lang, Marks. Take the stage.
Okay, Kian. So after asking everyone going around our group, it's your turn. First of all, why are you in this group and what do you want to share?
Well, first off, I'm in this group because we're all part of the same class. And second of all, well, I wanted to share based on what we've agreed on before, like my experience as a Mapuan right now. Since we're all going through our first year in college, I also wanted to hear about your experiences, your stories, which you've already heard. And I also wanted to, I guess, share mine, see how our stories match, how our stories differ.
And so regarding that, what particular conflicts have you experienced with your life as a Mapuan?
Okay, so in general, the conflict that I've had during my stay in Mapua is adapting to a new environment. I mean, first off, geographically, Mapua is like far away. I live a few kilometers away. I'm from Bacoor, Cavite. I'm a commuter. So that was definitely a challenge from before, wherein my commute was only like 5 or 8 minutes from school. And getting to know Mapua's system. I mean, I'm I think I'm used to a fast-paced life, but Mapua is different. It's a different kind of system. So at first I was like kind of juggling through stuff to see, okay, which would I prioritize first? And with a new thing from a long summer break, I wasn't that like consistent with everything. So I had difficulties with prioritizing what I needed to do. And of course, I had to get to know some new people. It was only I was at first I thought I was the only one from my school. Well, I'm the only one here, so I from my school in ETYSB. So of course, everyone's new people to interact with, trying to get to know, awkward stages, those stuff. And yeah,
And what emotions did you feel or what emotions were present when you had your conflict?
okay, so during this time, like this first term, I felt overwhelmed at one point when the tasks tended to stack up right before midterms and finals. That was definitely during one time. And I was also definitely fatigued during a few times, a few weeks, because of course, I was tired from my commute. I was tired from school. I also had chores at home. I had responsibilities here too. So I had to juggle everything. And during this time, like, oh, I remember one time when I went to Intramuros and I stayed at the library and I got sick from someone, and that definitely took a toll on my productivity. It's like for like 5 days, I couldn't do much stuff. And so I ended up lagging behind a few activities and not like reaching the level that I wanted to reach. And also, I guess somehow a bit like not necessarily lonely, but like I couldn't relate as much with some people during this time. Like at first, I'm not like really social at first. I do try to meet people, but there's this stage wherein like nothing really clicks at first. So that was definitely challenging for me. And I guess during this time, just frustrated. Like one time, I forgot to submit one of my papers, and it was like 30% of my grade, and I was stressing about that. So yeah.
Fatigue really does take a toll on us. So, with emotions like that, how did you handle them?
Okay, so how did I handle my emotions? Well, you can't help being frustrated with things that aren't going your way. That's just is. But as the term went on, I got to meet you guys. I got to meet some new people. Uh, because of that, it became easier to handle stuff. I got friends to talk to. I've got friends to ask questions if I needed help with something or if maybe I forgot something. So that definitely helped. And I guess I just knew I had to keep on trying. Um, uh, I tried forming friends because from experience that does tend to reduce overwhelmingness of a new environment. And I guess I know it sounds weird, like or cliche, but like to romanticize life, so to speak. I had to remember, bro, you're studying at Mapua. It's like it's a good university. There are problems, yeah, there are problems, but yeah, it's still Mapua din naman. So I just tried to look at it from that perspective to keep me motivated. And I also tried on taking care of my body more because commuting takes a toll from sleep, from productivity to focus. Uh, it sometimes I'm like tired at school, or right as I get home, I'm like really tired. I couldn't do my tasks that I needed to do. So, but romanticize it, right? Romanticize my commute. I tried doing that, listening to music on the way or going back home, just sitting at the window, looking at the window, at the night sky. Say, look, because it's on skyway, I get to see the city, so I try to romanticize that. And yeah, that did definitely help. And I guess like optimizing my way of work because my commute is long. I just do some stuff on the bus. That's it. So that definitely helped when I realized, yeah, I could definitely do some work here. So yeah.
Definitely useful advice, especially considering may isa pang Saudi dito. Lastly, what would be your advice to all of us here present today?
Okay, so uh Mapua will throw a lot more challenges at us. We're just at the second term and a lot of things have already happened. And all I can say is just keep on trying. Yeah, keep on trying. I mean, why are we studying in the first place? For our dream or for a good foundation, right? For our life in the future. So we shouldn't forget our goals on why we're doing this. And I guess like what you guys also said, we must understand the power of friendship, like reaching out, talking to people, so like that, and try not to overburden ourselves. Like yeah, we all stumble from time to time, but that's okay. It's how we recover from that. And I guess don't overburden yourself. Take breaks. I mean, like me, once I got a hang of it, of how I'm going to handle Mapua, I tried doing some walks. I tried to talk with people more, get to know them. Returning to some hobbies that I forgot to do because of the busyness of the schedule, like playing some games. And at the end, like, don't forget the goal. And yeah, that's it.
And that was all of us.
Yeah, so I get, but where thank you guys for
Nalobat na yung
sharing
isa.
everything.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
nalobat si Pao. Okay.
sobrang I loved listening to Charles's conflict.
Yeah.
Doon ko talaga na kaya
Yeah,
pala kaya
Oo.
bro.
pala
Yeah,
kaya pala
bro.
wala.
Oo. Ay, oo,
Kaya pala
bro.
wala.
Crazy, bro.
Nag-get up to speed na kami kung ano
Yeah.
nangyari.
Dude, I could have
Okay.
had pre-cal by now, pero bahala
Oy,
na.
cut na yun. Cut yun.
Ano namin?
Okay na yan. Genuine na to. Malalaman ni Sir.
Oo. Okay. Okay.
Anyway, I
So,
think so the last part should be yung personal insights.
Wait.
Let's give ourselves
Yeah, that's the
till
individual task.
till Monday siguro. Monday night. Are we all fine with
Wait,
that?
ano pa gagawin?
Wait, the personal insights, are we compiling it as like one document or something? Like, how is it?
Uh
Because
Individual.
we are just
It's-
typing it up, right?
yeah, it's individual.
Yeah.
It's individual.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it.
So,
Outro.
yeah.
Wait, so then we just do the personal insights as like a document.
Yes.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay.
So, outro.
Outro.
Outro ba ba?
Yeah.
Anong outro natin?
Soundboard.
Outro ako?
Oh, go outro ka.
Outro ako? Okay. Well, okay, that's it guys. Thank you for this. We had kahit, may nagkape ba sa inyo? Did anyone even drink coffee? Parang wala.
I didn't
Yeah.
need to. I
This
didn't
is
need to.
I don't like
late night
coffee.
Yeah.
Nakasan ka.
That's it. Thank
Zeus.
you.
Outro mo na, Kian.
Okay,
Outro mo
guys.
na.
Tapos na yun.
Yun na
Tapos
yun.
na yun. Yun na
Yun na yun.
outro.
Okay.
Oh, yun na yun.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
GG's.